Okay, so we are ready to start. My name is Dimitar Trendafilov. I'm part of the Department of Economics at New Bulgarian University, part of DigiCreche project. I'm quite happy that I had this opportunity to work for this project in the last 2 years, but now I'm extremely happy to contribute with my expertise and everything that I can help with in terms of entrepreneurship, marketing, and some new trends that could help any young creator, let's say, entrepreneur in cultural and creative industries. Because as we already know, especially in this project, we extracted a lot of data that these industries are highly important for the world economy, not only for our, in particular, like in countries that participated. That means that actually a lot of investments and a lot of talent, as they usually say in this area, are concentrated to create new value, new services, to add value via design in terms of graphic design, product design, packaging design, or at least what I'm more interested in, but definitely there is a huge momentum in this area. And since a lot of my colleagues spoke about marketing, I would like to change a little bit the perspective. That's why I wanted to contribute with saying something about entrepreneurship and how this set of activities, because actually it's not one thing, corresponds with creative industries, not only in general, but also with some hints how especially young guys in this area could approach making some good living out of their ideas. So let me make this. As I've said, I'm part of the Department of Economics. I've been teaching marketing and brand management, but also I'm interested in the area of entrepreneurship because it sounds like part of marketing, but actually it's not. It's a managerial area. Also, it's connected with financing and some other stuff. Of course, all we know that nowadays technologies are the big thing in this area, and of course most of the investment go to some new AI instruments or services based on AI, creating new value via the advanced technologies. So I kind of promised to say something about best practices, but I would like to share more local practices actually, which is probably they are not the best practices ever, but I will show you how some of my colleagues at the university actually deal with this area, combining entrepreneurship and culture and creative industries. So I developed this pathway. It's not like it's not entrepreneur environment or ecosystem as they say usually, but it's an entrepreneurship pathway because everything starts with one idea, and this idea, of course, it's very, very important, but it's not always that one idea could produce a good value, for example. So, but if we take just for a moment this presupposition that one new idea has a potential to become big and to scale up and to attract more people to work for this idea and to consume somehow this idea in the future. Of course, we need also resources to make this idea visible, to make this idea material or physical, because even some services need to be presented in the material world somehow. For example, if you're a hotel owner, you offer a touristic service, but you have a building in which you can offer your service. So more or less, physical world is somehow connected with services as well. So it doesn't matter if you produce something as a physical object or service. You need some resources, at least to start to develop it for the first stage and second stage and so on and so forth, till the moment of launch officially in the market. But for entrepreneurs, it's not that easy. That's why we speak about resources. And sometimes these resources are from various matters, from various fields. As you can see, the third layer is constructed by catalysts or catalysts in plural, because there are a lot of factors in the environment that could catalyze your idea and to make it big, or to make it small, or to make it disappear from the environment, even if it's not officially in the market. So there is a lot of factors, a lot of details that we need to consider before creating our product marketable, as we usually say. So that's why we have here.
Sorry to interrupt, but we are still seeing the first slide.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
So yeah. So about the value proposition, it's not by accident that it's here, because value proposition is what actually any entrepreneur should be aware of when he or she wanted to test the idea before make it visible, physical, and somehow consumable, let's say, from consumers' side of the exchange. So let's start again from the idea perspective. So what's the common ground between creativity, entrepreneurship and creative industries? So of course it's the creativity. Most of the entrepreneurs are people who think out of the box. They try to challenge the status quo. Here we have a lot of examples like Nike or Apple, Netflix, for example, or even Google and Facebook. They just broke the limits. They challenged the situation in which they were created, and so on and so forth. So this is the common ground. Usually entrepreneurs are people who don't want to make things to act like ordinary people, like ordinary businesses. They want to behave differently. They try to do stuff differently. And it's a mindset that these people possess, and they constantly challenge, let's say, the reality. So when it comes to business, of course, most of these famous entrepreneurs constantly tried new thing, and they fought for their ideas. So this is very important, that creativity is essential part of entrepreneurship. Because you actually do what you do or what you want to do in a certain area of your local economy, for example, in a different way. So it's the first step that we need to consider. So here I claim that you should be, bold enough to say that you can make it better or in different way, or to create even new market. I just mentioned Netflix, but it's a good example how to create a huge business nowadays, only for a couple of years, considering the technological environment and the huge opportunities for you to create your own content and to deliver it to your consumers on demand and so on and so forth, which is a kind of new era in entertainment in general. So this is my interpretation here of the model. So we are talking about value proposition as a reality check. That's why we need to test our idea, even in this initial stage of its development. So resources, because our idea actually is one solution, but we are not quite sure if people understand this solution, if it's valuable, which means that is it close to their everyday problems they face and their everyday life and their businesses and so on and so forth, and to what extent this idea, this solution actually is painful for them, and what kind of solution actually you give them via your idea. So, or probably you can solve only this solution that you prepare is something that just covers part of their requirements and their demand and so on and so forth, or entirely. So anyways, you need to taste it, to ask people to make a small research or large research, depends on our resources and so on and so forth. But about the resources, again, first of all, of course, most of the people think about finance when it comes to entrepreneurship or investment or some angels to support us. It's not always about money first, but what exactly we offer to these potential investors when it comes to developing idea. We need to have quite clear answer what exactly we offer, or what kind of problem we try to solve via our product or service. Then usually individual entrepreneur needs some help from a team. In this area of entrepreneurship, usually people speak about talents, people with some interesting skills and knowledge to help here one idea to be developed further. Also network, formal or informal, in order to for the entrepreneurs to ask questions, to search for similar solutions, to ask how to overcome some issues and so on and so forth. Infrastructure, is there any infrastructure that we can use in order to develop our idea? For example, nowadays is common sense to start producing certain prototypes in laboratories, or to start producing your product in China, for example. But you can find some infrastructure even in your country. Depends on your information how to approach this problem with the product development. Again, leadership, who does what. For example, if you are a team, of course, there are different tasks to cover, and you need to set quite clear roles in your organization in order to bring together as a team to bring the best possible, at least first stage product, which is most viable product, let's say, and then to continue with these people to advanced towards the final prototype and to start market your product. And of course, knowledge. We think that we are knowledgeable because of the internet, because of the whole universe of AI and so on and so forth. But we need to know that knowledge is not that easy to have, and that's why people matter here. Experts that you can speak about in your area is also something of importance, so on and so forth. So that's why resources actually are in different types, as you can see here. As to the catalyst, usually catalysts are institutions, usually formal institutions. For example, in so many countries, there is a Ministry of Innovation and Entrepreneurship and so on and so forth, whose role is to support entrepreneurs in their environment to build their ideas, to develop their ideas, because as we know, it's very important for contemporary economies to create unicorns, or at least viable working companies that add value to the whole economy. So it's something that most of the countries actually has a responsibility to support a local ecosystem of entrepreneurs. Some intermediaries here, also culture, because national and organizational culture matter when we try to organize a team, or for example, also entrepreneurship itself is something that has a very strong basis, very strong link with culture. For example, in Bulgaria, nowadays we have young people with a lot of ideas trying to be entrepreneurs, to be independent, to make something disruptive in order to be their own bosses. But most of the biggest part of the population wasn't born in this kind of mindset, because to take risks, it was something unusual. And actually today here we count on these young people to change their mindset, to change their behavior, to make this shift in their behavior, and to take more risks, and to try to realize their ideas, and to change so many paradigms that we have been following in last decades, let's say. And finally, value, last but not least, of course, value means that eventually we need to achieve this point in which our idea is not only producible, let's say, something that we can produce as a mass product, but also it can return our investment, our money, to monetize our efforts. And this model should be sustainable. Don't think that these requirements are very easy to be achieved. So in most cases, experienced people in this area say that you need to constantly to check your idea during the different phases of the development of your idea, your product. You need constantly to check the reality, and this value proposition is something that it's not just one thing or taken for granted, but you need to re-evaluate every time. Again, I could give you this example with Apple, that actually they started with PC as a huge idea. They, took some technical ideas from big companies existing at that moment, like Xerox. But after a couple of years, not a couple of years, but probably one decade after the launch of the first of their products, there was a huge competition. That's why they needed to reevaluate their products again. So the market was quite different, and PC as a product was a new industry in which Apple was just one of the competitors, and it appeared that it was a weak competitor. So after joining again Apple, Steve Jobs, late 90s, Steve Jobs actually was better in marketing. That's why nowadays we value this company, this brand award, and it's a huge game changer because Steve Jobs, not as a founder of this company, but as an entrepreneur and visionary manager, started back in the 90s to be more effective in taking decisions of sustainability and value added activities and so on and so forth in order to develop further his brand, and all of the products then were quite groundbreaking in a sense. So this is something that especially entrepreneurs in cultural and creative industries must have in mind, because it's not the easiest part, but the hardest part. So I could put here some hints. Let's say Steve Blank is like a grandfather or godfather of the entrepreneurship area, especially in the United States, but not only. It's highly influential as a very experienced expert, and he's not a professor but a teacher in some colleges in the United States. But he used this diagram, this scheme here, to point out how exactly entrepreneurs should approach developing their ideas. Actually, he says something very, very important for entrepreneurs. Trying to create a startup, to be entrepreneur in this pure sense of the term, doesn't mean that you need to think as a already established manager of a company that exists 100% and corresponds with all definitions of developed business. Actually, you're so small, you're nobody, and you need to start creating your own consumers. This is the big difference between established businesses and young businesses, startups, as we usually say, because established businesses, even Apple, Nike nowadays, or Mercedes, it doesn't matter, they actually they have their markets. Of course, they're quite good in maintaining their superpower as a brand and their sales and so on and so forth. But this market is already there. These markets are already there. Automotive market, computer market, smartphone market, and so on and so forth. But when we start doing your business, especially if it's disruptive, it's quite unusual. Of course, you start from the scratch. You need to start from zero and to create your own market, because this is the crossing point between entrepreneurship and marketing. Marketing does not mean only advertising, social media communications, and so on and so forth. It means that you create your own market, and I'm 100% behind this idea that Steve Blank says in his books and in some interviews. So it's at least to me, it's very important for entrepreneurs to start with this idea that they cannot, it's not need for them to compare their businesses, their ideas with already existing ones here. So just to wrap up, because it's not need to go deeper in this, but we first of all, we need to be good in research, or search for people and research about our ideas. Also, we needed a team because even Steve Jobs didn't make it alone. He was a quite visionary guy, but you know that he had a team starting the whole idea of PC and so on and so forth. So especially in his case, he needed engineers to help him making PC. Also, marketing and sales entrepreneurs need to understand that it's quite important, because even in the earliest stages, usually investors ask how they are going to market their ideas. What are the strategies, what are the tools, and so on and so forth, and they need to be prepared, because usually it's like a weak point in their ideas, or at least in their scheme how to approach marketization of their ideas. I would like to share, as I said, to share some examples from our university. Actually, Eavesdrop is a real project. It's just about to be defended as a master thesis, actually. So of course I'm not supposed to present, to unveil all of the details about this product, but it's a student of mine. She has been trying to develop this application, generally speaking, to help people to enjoy, to experience in a better way Bulgarian historical heritage landscape, with a lot of stories, opportunities to share, to gain some like points, also to have some communication with specific places across the country. There is a gamification element, and of course the main goal is this application to be attractive for young people as a edtech example. As far as I know, she tried once to gain some money, some investment, but it was unsuccessful. This spring, she conducted a small research, actually with good results for her idea. So more or less, this project has potential brighter future, but it's a good example how technologies, as we all expect nowadays, to be part of our lives, could be somehow put in this service, and to add value for Bulgarian, and not only Bulgarian, tourists to experience in a better way what we have in our country, because we have some historical heritage places from Thracian civilization, Thracian times, Greek, Roman, and of course some new, but it's a good idea, because most of the people actually have interest to visit these places, but it could be better if they have such a kind of application in order to make it more interesting, and to have fun, also to learn something, to share with their children or with their peers, and so on and so forth. So the images you see here are AI generated, just as example how this application should be look like. This project for here is digitalculture.com, existing one. My colleague and friend Christina Stoimenova is the founder, and with her team, and they have been trying real hard to make it successful, not only in terms of mass interest, but also in terms of finance. And I think that she has already had like 2 awards about her idea. So it's a website nowadays. It started with this digital poetry idea. It was at the heart of the project. So this website is a platform with some short films, combining visual art with poetry, and of course you can see also some short movies connected more with theatrical play and so on and so forth. So again, the main objective is to be edtech project and to open some opportunities for young creative people to express themselves, to find people to work together, and so on and so forth, because our market is small. And this platform, Christiana wants to make it like a social media for people from creative industries to join their efforts to work together to produce something new, something interesting. So I had privilege to invite Christiana for a podcast. So I will provide it for DG Kreshe, because she's a very interesting person. She is an actress, but also very active in business development of different creative industry projects as well. Because again, it's always about money. Of course, European Union is not indifferent about cultural and creative industries. So there are some opportunities. This one is example. I've just noticed it. So it's about acceleration of quite new projects in this area, or post-acceleration, or European Union tries to help young entrepreneurs to scale up. So there are different amounts of money that entrepreneurs could gain from this project, just as a reference that entrepreneurs could ask for some help and some money from the European Union. Actually, this program is not just about financing projects, but also helping with information, support, expertise, and so on and so forth. So at least I found it very, very useful. And also I, of course, redirected it to Christiana, for example, because for her it could be extremely valuable support. And yeah, thanks for your attention. I just wanted to be brief in my presentation, and just to provoke more thinking about how we could address our ideas in terms of marketing and market realization. Innovations are part of cultural and creative industries. Actually, they are essence of this area. That's why they are so interesting and fast growing nowadays, because they stimulate creativity, and a lot of investors are interested in support this kind of projects. So be brave and try to find people, trying to find financial support and research for your ideas in order to make it visible and make it successful in the future. So hopefully it was useful. And if you have some additional questions or you just want to share some ideas with me, of course, you can find me online or to use my email address.
Thank you very much, Dimitar. It was quite interesting because myself, I am an entrepreneur in this area. So from your experience and your background, because I've seen that you have already supported several people starting their entrepreneurship. Mm-hmm. Do you think there is actually any difference between wannabe entrepreneurs in these creative and cultural industries and other industries? Are there some specificities, something that are different from the usual, let's say, entrepreneurs?
Yeah, actually, I've been in several conferences lately dedicated to entrepreneurship, especially in Europe. So I've noticed that it's always about technologies. So you know that tech industries nowadays are, how to say, more valuable than others, but it's not always about technologies, but it's rather about the way we use them. So to answer your question, this is the common ground between all entrepreneurs nowadays, that they need to think how to use AI and, of course, some other available technologies to scale up or to produce more value for their consumers. So consumers is a little bit, misleading, because we think about consumers as a mass market. In culture and creative industries is not necessary to be a huge market here. So again, it's not only about the money and not only about technologies, but it's good to think how to use these technologies. Usually entrepreneurs in tech industry start to think quite big without asking questions, without researching, and they're quite sure that their idea it's a great success, should be great success. But in my opinion, in culture and creative industries, people are more modest, and they are not that bold as in tech industries in their thinking that their ideas could be disruptive. So it's very important to for the young people, especially in culture and in creative industries, to think big and to try to test different kind of technologies in order to augment, let's say, their ideas and to find like-minded people to support them. So it's the difference is in the perspective of the entrepreneurs in different industries. So I think that entrepreneurs in tech industries nowadays, they're quite confident that they could have support, they could have money, and of course this is quite a big advantage for them. But in cultural and creative industries, people should be more confident as well, and to develop their ideas. I'm not quite sure I answered this question. Can you hear me, Carlos?
Yeah, I forgot to. I was muted.
Okay. Yes. I'm not quite sure I answered the question, but different perspective. I mean, you need to. So usually creative people, are not that business minds. So I think that's why it's so important to give them more valuable information how to approach their ideas.
Yeah,
And
fully agree. Yeah.
actually, as Christiana does it, she's very bold. She's very confident. She asks people. She goes everywhere around to search for new ideas and how to develop further her idea. So it's very important to be proactive in this situation. And
Yeah,
not
for sure.
to be afraid of failure, of course, because it's quite essential for the entrepreneurs not to be afraid of failure and to take risks.
Okay, thank you very much. So we are taking the recording and edit it, and then we'll make it available on the same link. Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
Okay,
Carlos,
perfect.
it was a
Thank you very
pleasure.
much. Bye.
Have a nice evening. Bye.